Have you ever wandered through a dense forest feeling small but safe, only to imagine suddenly vanishing without a trace? That's the eerie reality behind Missing 411, a phenomenon where people disappear in national parks across North America and never return. It's a mystery that has baffled researchers, hikers, and skeptics alike. Is it simply bad luck, or is there something stranger at play? Let's dive into the chilling world of Missing 411, where intrigue meets the unexplained. What is Missing 411? The term Missing 411 refers to a collection of unexplained disappearances in North America's national parks and forests. The phenomenon was brought into the spotlight by David Paulides, a former police officer and investigator who became intrigued by the alarming number of disappearances that seemed to have no clear explanation. His research, compiled in the Missing 411 book series, has given rise to a growing online community of people fascinated by these mysteries. David Paulides isn't some conspiracy theorist or Bigfoot believer on the fringes of the scientific world. He's a seasoned investigator who went down this rabbit hole after noticing a disturbing pattern in missing persons cases. People, often children, elderly individuals, and people in good health, vanish without a trace from national parks. In some cases, they turn up in places that defy logic, or worse, are never found at all. Even more perplexing, some individuals seem to reappear after days or weeks with no memory of what happened to them, while others are found in areas that would have been almost impossible to access. The creepy numbers behind Missing 411. National parks are vast and rugged, with winding trails and dense forests making it easy to get lost. While missing person cases might seem like a typical accident, the research from David Paulides reveals something far more unsettling. What's truly disturbing isn't just the frequency of these disappearances, but the patterns that emerge. For example, people vanish in areas that seem easy to navigate, only to be found far from where they should be. Victims often disappear in the blink of an eye, leaving behind their belongings, and in some cases, hours or even days pass before anyone notices. The oddest part? Some missing people reappear, confused and disoriented, with no recollection of where they've been. In some cases, search dogs can't pick up any scent, and no trace of the person is ever found, despite extensive searches. These strange circumstances raise more questions than answers, and while many attribute them to simple accidents, it's clear that these cases don't always fit into the usual explanations. Is it all just coincidence? Let's entertain the skeptical side for a moment. Could all these bizarre disappearances just be a coincidence? It's certainly possible that some cases are just unfortunate accidents. After all, the wilderness is full of hidden dangers. People slip, fall, get disoriented, and sometimes they just vanish. However, if you look closely, the sheer volume of strange disappearances in national parks over the years starts to raise some eyebrows. For example, the Appalachian Trail, one of the most famous hiking routes in North America, has been home to more than a few missing persons cases. And don't get us started on the Yosemite National Park, where countless hikers and campers have mysteriously disappeared without a trace. So, are we really to believe that the wilderness is that unforgiving? Or is something else afoot? Could something otherworldly be at play? Here's where things get really interesting. While most disappearances can likely be explained by natural causes, there are cases in Missing 411 that simply don't fit. Some people believe that these mysterious vanishings are the result of supernatural forces. Bigfoot, alien abductions, portals to other dimensions, or maybe even time anomalies. There's no shortage of theories. Let's talk about the Bigfoot hypothesis for a second. Sure, the idea of a giant, ape-like creature roaming the woods seems like the stuff of legends, but could Bigfoot be behind some of these disappearances? It's certainly an intriguing thought, especially when you consider that some missing individuals have reported strange, unidentifiable creatures in the vicinity before vanishing. Then there's the theory of alien abductions. You know, the idea that extraterrestrials are using national parks as their own personal playground for experimenting on hapless humans. Why national parks? Perhaps they're just isolated enough to perform their strange activities without attracting too much attention. Think about it. No one can hear you scream if you're in the middle of the wilderness, right? But it's not just the weird creatures and aliens that people speculate about. Some believe that national parks themselves are portals, openings to other dimensions, or gateways to places unknown. If we take the strange reappearances into account, maybe these people aren't just lost. Perhaps they've temporarily slipped into another reality, only to return with no memory of what happened. Wild, right? So, what's really going on? Okay, enough with the wild theories for a second. What's the practical detective-like answer to all this? David Paulides and others who have delved into the missing 411 phenomenon often look to the process of elimination. They attempt to rule out all natural causes, such as getting lost, animal attacks, or accidental falls, and focus on the cases that remain unexplainable. One of the most unsettling findings in Paulides' research is that some of these disappearances seem to occur near water sources, such as lakes or rivers, or in areas that have experienced recent weather events. This has led some to believe that something about these locations is linked to the disappearances, though no one can say exactly what it is. Even more troubling is the fact that in some cases, despite extensive searches and rescue efforts, no trace of the missing person is ever found. Search teams combing through vast forests or climbing treacherous mountain paths often come up empty-handed. It's almost as if the missing person vanished into thin air, and that's something that science just can't explain away. A call for more research, and maybe some common sense. While the idea of a supernatural cause is definitely fun to entertain, especially for those who love a good mystery, it's also important to keep in mind that not every disappearance is the work of ghosts, aliens, or Bigfoot. Some are simply tragic accidents, and others can likely be explained by environmental factors, human error, or the unforgiving nature of the wilderness. But at the end of the day, missing 411 remains one of those questions that doesn't have a clear answer. As Paulides himself has pointed out, the cases are often so strange that they defy easy explanation. Whether it's the work of supernatural forces, an undiscovered phenomenon, or just a series of very odd coincidences. The mystery of the disappearing hikers and campers is something that continues to intrigue people to this day. The takeaway: are we ever going to get to the bottom of the missing 411 mystery? Probably not anytime soon, but that's what makes it so fascinating. The more we dig, the stranger it gets. So if you find yourself planning a trip to a national park anytime soon, make sure to pack your sense of adventure and maybe a healthy dose of skepticism. Because while we may never know the truth behind the disappearances, one thing is for sure: the wilderness is not as predictable as we'd like to think. And next time you wander into the woods, remember to stay on the trail, keep an eye on your surroundings, and always avoid the mysterious spots marked on the map that no one seems to talk about. You never know what might be lurking just beyond the trees. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the mysterious world of missing 411, don't forget to hit that like button. Share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. We'd love to hear what you think. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe for more intriguing stories and investigations like this one. Stay curious, stay safe, and keep exploring the unknown. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.